how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So let us start with the history's first chapter, early humans. So children, I'm sure that you must have heard about a huge animal dinosaur. So this dinosaur, they have been seen in some of the science fiction movies along with the human beings, and they did roamed about the earth about 70 million years ago. And if we talk about our ancestors, they survived on this earth about 3 million years ago. And the life of our ancestors were not the life that we are living in right now, and they did not even look like us. So in this chapter, we will study about the aspects of the early human beings. First, we will start with the timeline. Thank you. Now let us talk about the periods that got divided based on the types of tools used by the prehistoric men. Now we will look into the first one. So that is the Paleolithic period. So this Paleolithic period started from 5 lakh BC and it got over in 10,000 BC. So here the second was the Mesolithic period, which started from 10,000 BC and got over in 8,000 BC. Now we have the third phase, which is the Neolithic period, which started from 8,000 BC and it got over in the period of 4,000 BC. So children, if we talk about human beings, they have been living on this earth since a long time. And scientists, they have found some skeletons and the remains, that is the fossils, meaning in Africa, and this resemble the human beings. So this resemble means this match the similar kind of characteristics of a human beings. So these fossils, the remains of the animals or the birds or the human beings that has been found in Africa. And about 4 to 5 million years old. So these fossils have been found to be 4 to 5 million years ago. So these early humans are known as hominids. So hominids, they are considered as the ancestors of humans. So we human beings, whatever we are today, so they were our ancestors who were living 3 million years ago, and they were known as hominids. So in 1974 in Ethiopia, there was a scientist. So scientists, they discovered the remains of a female body which was quite similar to the present human beings. So scientists, not many scientists, they discovered the remains of a female body which was quite similar to the present human beings. So they named her Lucy. So this scientist, they have discovered a human female body, and this was she had the characteristics of a human beings like us, and they have named her as Lucy. And it got estimated, means that whatever features were there in this remains, it is said to be that they are about 3.18 million years ago. So this was the oldest human remains that has been discovered till now, and it is considered that human beings took nearly 2 million years ago to change their form from the earlier ape-like structure. So earlier, however, was our ancestors, they did not resemble like us. They used to look like chimpanzees or Godzillas. So now this was like an ape structure, and they were the human beings that took nearly 2 million years ago to change their form from the ape-like structure to a human being. So now children, human beings are considered to be the most intelligent species. So this word species means a set of animals or plants, members of which have similar characteristics and they can breed with each other. So now they have adapted themselves to the changing climate conditions and have spread out to various parts of the world. So in this line, they are saying that these human beings, they have adapted. So they have adjusted, meaning themselves to the changing climate conditions and have spread to various parts of the world. Now these human beings, they moved from Africa to Europe and many far off Asian countries. So these human beings, they moved first from Africa to Europe and to many far off places in Asian countries. Now these human beings, they also learned the use of things. So they discovered. Discovered means they found out or they modified. Modified means changed things and invented things. So this invented means to create or design something that has not existed before. So these human beings discovered, modified things and invented things to make their life more comfortable. But these developments have taken thousands of years to happen. They did discover, they did modify, they did invent something. However, it took many years for their things to happen. Now, we can also know about the remains and sites of early human beings that have been found at many parts of India. So, they say that historians, they have found many archaeologists. Literally, I am talking about archaeologists. So, they have found many sites of human beings at many parts of India. And most of these, they have found close to the river basin. So, this river basin means a river basin is the portion of land which is drained by a river and its tributaries. So, tributary means the smaller rivers. So, now most of these, they have been found in the river basins which provide a good source of water. So, this source means the supply. So, these river basins, they provide good supply of water, and you know how essential water is for human life. So, if we consider water for human life, then it is an important part that plays in our life. But the human beings of this period did not know how to grow crops. So if we talk about the prehistoric man, if we talk about our ancestors, they were not aware how to grow crops. So they were essentially hunters. So this essentially meaning they were extremely important hunters and gatherers. So they used to move from one place to another and they used to collect food and they used to eat and survived. Once the food used to get exhausted from one place, then they used to move from that place to another place. So now these means they used to either hunt for their food or gather it from their surrounding. This word surrounding means the areas or things that are nearby to a person. So that is known as surroundings. So they used to collect food or they used to gather fruits, wild fruits, and they used to gather it from their surroundings. So during this time they developed tools. So during this time they developed means they improved or they advanced, made some kind of tools for the purpose, for the use, for the daily use, like hunting, cutting or digging means it is to break up and move earth with a hand or machine or with the tools. So now to dig the ground and to take something out from there, which is known as digging things. So these ancestors, they made different tools and that were used for hunting, cutting or digging things from the ground. So they started to use stone for making their tools, and therefore this period of the human history is known as the Stone Age. Now if we talk about the Stone Age, why we generally named them as the Stone Age? Because these ancestors, they were using the stones for making their tools. So now if we talk about tools, so now tools say that it is the thing which is used for daily life. For example, cleavers, scrapers. So I will let you know about that as well. So this kind of tools that had been used for their daily life. So now that's why this period is known as the Stone Age. Now we will start with the Stone Age in detail. Now let us move on to the Stone Age. So now the Stone Age can be divided into 3 periods, and this is totally based upon the quality of stones that they used to make their tools. So this Stone Age was divided into 3 periods. That was the Paleolithic period. This is the longest period in the Stone Age. This was also divided into the Upper Stone Age, the Lower Stone Age and the Middle Stone Age in the Paleolithic period. Then we come to the Mesolithic period, and the last one is the Neolithic period. So here we can also see the types of stones that has been used by the early men during the Stone Age. So now let us move on to the Paleolithic period. So if we talk about Paleolithic period, this was the Old Stone Age, and it lasted from 5 lakh BCE to 10,000 BCE. So the word Paleolithic is taken from the Greek word. Paleo means old and lithos means stone. So that's why it is known as Old Stone Age. Take a close look at the features of the Paleolithic period. So these features means the qualities, the certain qualities, or you can say the other word as characteristics. So during this time, the early humans in the Paleolithic period, they were the hunter-gatherers. So they moved from one place to another, and they moved in groups. They never used to travel alone. They even traveled to a far-off place. And these people entirely depended upon hunting and gathering. So the reason why they were known as nomads, meaning nomad means they used to move from one place to another in search of food. That's why they were known as nomads. And they were food gatherers. They used to gather whatever they used to get on their way while traveling. So these people of the early age or the Paleolithic period, they used to kill animals and they ate raw meat because they did not know how to cook. That's why they ate uncooked, meaning raw meat. Now at the time of traveling on their way, if they used to travel through the jungle, then they used to eat the roots of plants, wild fruits, nuts, seeds, etc. that grew naturally, as they did not know how to grow food. So after the food sources of the place would exhaust. So after the supply, sources means the supply of the food exhausted means finished, they used to do hunting and gathering, and they moved to a new place. So now they also traveled far and wide in search of food. So these people, they never stayed in one place. They moved from one place to another when the food used to get finished, and that's why they were known as nomads. Since they did not know how to grow crops or make food, they were also known as hunter or gatherers. So now let's talk about their clothing. So if we look at the Paleolithic period people, then they entirely used to wear the clothes that were made of barks. So this bark is a word which is the outmost layer of stem and roots of woody plants. So they used to make clothes from this bark, and also the short hairs of animals, which is known as furs, and they used to cover their bodies and protect themselves from being cold. Now let's talk about the dwelling places, or the places where they used to reside or they used to live, meaning dwelling. These early humans, they used to live on caves and on trees. Why they used to live on caves and trees? Because they used to protect themselves from the wild animals and rain, and also it provided shelter from heat and rain. So let's talk about the tools that had been used by the early men in the Paleolithic period. So here this is a cave which is known as Bhimbetka caves, and this has been recognized by UNESCO as a heritage site. First, before we move to that, we will talk about the tools of the Paleolithic period. So during this time, Paleolithic period, they did not know how to make tools of good quality. So that's why the Stone Age people, they used to make tools that were from animal bones, or they used to make it from the stones. Now these tools have been found in number of places. Tools of that period are crude. Crude means it was very simple. and it was not of very good quality. So there are things to remember here. Now there are tools which have been found in Rewa, Bundelkhand, Kurnool and Madhya Pradesh in India. And they also used various kind of tools for their daily life, for hunting, then digging ground, then cutting meat. So these were knives, axes, spears, stone hammers, scrapers. So this word scraper means a tool used for removing dirt, paint or unwanted matter from the surface. So it is known as scrapers. And they also used to dig the ground by using these tools. It has been found in most of the places in India. Now these stone tools, they were made of flint as it chips easily. Now this word flint means a piece of shiny grey or black stone that is like a glass. So the early men, they used to make tools of flint, and it was chips means it used to break up easily into smaller pieces. That's why it was known as chip. The reason why early humans of the Paleolithic period used flint was to help to break the stones very easily into pieces. That's why they used to use the flint, and is thus convenient to shape. Convenient means it was suitable to make some shape of those tools. Now we look at the spears. Spears means it is a weapon which is consisting of a long pole with a sharp metal point, and it is attached to the end. This is spear. And arrows were used to hunt and skin the animals. So to take the skin out from the animals, they used to use the tools, and they also use bow and arrow to kill the animal. To cut roots and fruits, to scrape the bark of trees, and to dig the ground to get roots of the plant to eat. Now these are the things that they used to do with these tools. Now after this we will talk about the tool making techniques. Let us move into the tool making techniques. So there were two tool making techniques. Technique means the process or the method of making the tools. So now the remnants. So this remnant means a small piece or amount of something that is left from a larger original piece or amount. So these remnants of the tools that have been found, so they have come to know that the techniques used were of two types. The first one was stone on stone. So this technique, let me explain you this technique of stone on stone. So if you see a picture here, you can see a stone which is placed on his left hand. That's the core or the main stone. And this stone which is used as a hammer is the second stone. So what they do is they place this hammer on top of the center of the main stone or the core stone. Here core stone, they place this hammer on the core stone and they hit, means to struck. They hit on the core stone and they create some sort of tools according to their desire. So they shape the tools according to their desire. So this desire means they wanted what kind of shapes they wanted. They made the tools according to that by using this method. And now let us move on to the pressure flaking. So if we talk about pressure flaking, so it applies, this name consists of applying pressure by means of a pointed edge of a flake or blade to detach some small flakes from both sides to give the final finish to the tool. The method is that, okay? And in this method, so now trimming, this word trimming has been used here. It is cutting off the edge of a stone. So now edge means the outer point. So what in this method what they use is they cut out the outer point of a stone tool by removing small stony flakes. So these flakes, they remove the small stony flakes. So these flakes are the small piece of something from the stones. They remove that and by pressing on the stone with a sharp stone rather than striking it. So now this is pressure flaking. So rather than striking it, striking means to produce spark by rubbing. So rather than rubbing each other with the stones, rubbing each two stones with each other, they cut the outer part of the stone and they remove small stones by pressing on the stone with a small sharp stone, but they don't hit them like what they use it in the first method, striking. They don't do this in the second method. So this is known as pressure flaking. So now let's talk about do you know. So you must have heard that recently many people, including barbers, or you must have experienced this, you go to a salon and you use the scissors and the knives to clean your hair. So now what these barbers used to do was they used to sharpen the steel blades of knives and shaving blades by rubbing them against a stone. So this method was used before and sometimes they even do it today. So this is the thing which we know it from the salon, and some of the barbers are already using this method. So now we will move on to the discovery of fire. So after this we will see the discovery of fire and we will learn how they used it. And now let us move on to the discovery of fire. So it is assumed, meaning it is taken as a fact without a proof, that we accept it that fire was discovered by an accident. So it is likely said that the stones might have been rubbed together and they strike some kind of spark, and with that spark they have burned some dry leaves. So this has been a proof that has led to the discovery of the fire by early humans. It is a hear and say story, you can say. It is a fact, however this fact has no proof, but we accept the fact. So now slowly and gradually, the meaning of gradually is same as slowly. So now they must have learned the uses of fire and how to control it. So slowly early humans, they use the method of using the fire and they also knew how to control the fire. Now here are some of the ways which early humans used fire. Now let us look at the first one. They say that early humans, they used to cook meat before eating rather than eating raw meat. Raw means uncooked meat. So as I told you earlier that early humans, they did not know how to cook. After the discovery of fire, they knew how to cook. So what they first did with the fire was they started cooking meat and they ate those meat rather than eating the uncooked meat. Now the second thing, they lit means they light a fire outside their caves. Caves are the places where the early humans used to live in the Paleolithic age, right, or the Neolithic age or the Mesolithic age. Now during this time, caves were dark. So in order to protect themselves from the wild animals, they used to light fire outside their caves. Now the third thing, they kept themselves warm with the help of the fire in the cold weather. This was the third thing what the early humans learned. So now let us look at the art of the early humans, which has been discovered in the Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh cave. Now let us talk about some paintings of the early humans. Now these paintings were made on the walls of caves. These paintings, they have been found inside the caves of Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, and these cave painting sites, whatever the sites of the paintings have been made in this Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh caves. So now this site has been termed as a heritage site by UNESCO. So this word heritage meaning it is a feature that is belonging to the culture of particular society, such as traditions, languages or buildings that we are created in the past. and still have some historical importance as if now. So now this represents or this depicts. So these paintings, they depict or they represent the scenes of hunting, people dancing, playing round drums, wounded animals. So this wounded means the animals, those who got hurt. So people riding animals like elephants, bison, horse, tiger, wild boar, animals fighting. So these paintings has been created by the early humans, and these paintings are shown in the Bhimbetka caves in Madhya Pradesh. Now in this cave, more of the things are mentioned in the paintings. So in one of the paintings, we will see that the man has shown riding on a horse. So one of the paintings shows that a man was riding a horse. Now one interesting thing about this Bhimbetka caves painting was that whatever colors they have used, okay, during those times to make a mixture of, these colors have not still faded away or they still remain the same. So now the colors which they used was mainly white and red, and certain places green and yellow. These colors have been used. So scientists, they are on the view that colors were prepared by combining charcoal. So the charcoal is a coal. So what they used to do was they used to combine coal, red stone and powders from other stones. They used to make a mixture of those, and they used to make the paintings and color those pictures with those colors. Now these paintings have survived for so many years, and the colors have still not faded now. So now this says that right now also, if you go to that site and see those paintings, it still survives. This word survived means it existed or it exists in present tense, or existed is a past tense. Now faded means it has not become less bright in color than before. So now the paintings are still the same and the colors are still the same. So let us look at the major Paleolithic sites now. Children, so this is an interesting thing about the Paleolithic sites of the early humans. So when we talk about a site is a place where some stone tools belonging to the early humans were found. Now most Paleolithic sites were located near the areas where good quality stones were available and which were close to the sources of water like lake, rivers, etc. So if we look at some important sites here, then we could see some of the things here. When they found those tools, now they have seen that there was a good quality stone which were available on those sites, and these were close to the supply of water, which is the sources of water like lakes, rivers, etc. So now an important thing to remember here is a number of Paleolithic sites have been found in Hundsgi and Karnool near Krishna river, river beds of Son river in Punjab, which is now in Pakistan, Kashmir, Narmada Valley, etc. So these are the places where the tools of the early humans they used to use have been found. So since early humans lived in these areas, they are also called the habitation site. So habitation site. So habitation site means a site where the early humans used to live and they used to work. So those sites are known as the habitation sites. Now after the conclusion of this Paleolithic period, now we may move on to the Mesolithic period. The period is ended and now the second Mesolithic period will start, and we'll talk about it. Let us start with the second period, which is the Mesolithic period, and this period is also known as the Middle Stone Age. Why this is known as the Middle Stone Age? So the term, which is derived from the Greek word meso means middle and lithic means stone. So this word comes from the Greek word Mesolithic. and thus it is also known as the Middle Stone Age. If we talk about the term period of this age, that is started from 10,000 BCE to and it ended in 8,000 BCE. Now this period was between the Paleolithic age and the Neolithic age. So now in the Mesolithic age, the climate had started changing and it became warm and dry. So the climatic changes that brought about changes in the environment. So this word environment means the surroundings or the conditions in which a person, animals or plant lives or operates. So now it made it possible for humans. So this changing weather, now it made the human beings possible to move to new areas, and this age intervened as a transitional phase between the Paleolithic age and the Neolithic age. Now this word intervened, means to happen between two times or between other events or activities. Now let's look at the other word, which is transitional phase. Now this transitional phase means it is a period in which things are changing from one state to another. Now this period or the Mesolithic period, it happened between two or between other events or activities, and it brought a change to the things and it changed from one to another state. Now in this Paleolithic age and the Neolithic age, there was a period of changes in the Paleolithic age and the Neolithic age. Now we will move on to the features of the Mesolithic period. So now during this Middle Stone Age, humans, they learned to make better tools than the Paleolithic age. The second thing was, these tools were more delicate as compared to the tools of the Paleolithic age. So the word delicate here means it was easily broken or damaged as compared to the tools of the Paleolithic age. Whatever tools the people of the Mesolithic age was using, it was more delicate as compared to the tools of the Paleolithic period. Now the third point to remember is they started to make smaller and sharper tools called microliths. Now let's talk about this word microliths. So if we look into this word microliths, now these are tiny razor like flakes that were fitted into the wooden shaft of an arrow or spear. There is archaeological evidence to show that flint blades were used to provide the tips of arrows. These blades were fitted into handles of wood or bone and formed the cutting parts of various types of tools. Now, let's talk about this word microliths. Now, this word microlith says that this word a tiny razor like flakes. So, if you remember, children, I had talked about the word flake means a small piece of stone. So now these stones, they were fitted into the wooden shaft. So now this wooden shaft means it is a long narrow part forming the handle of a tool. So now archaeological, this word archaeological evidence means proof. The evidence means proof. So now archaeological. Now this word archaeological, the study of the buildings, graves, tools and other objects that belong to people who lived in the past in order to learn about their culture and society. So now this archaeological proof has shown that these flint blades, so the word flint here means a piece of shiny grey or black stone that is like. So now these stones have been used as a blade and they used to provide the tips of arrows. These blades were fitted into handles of wood or bone and form the cutting parts of various types of tools. Now these tools were used in many kinds of daily basis activities. Now as human started taking gradual changes in their equipments also, now humans, they continued to be a food gatherer in the early part of this age, But towards the later part, human begins to grow crops and started to tame animals. Now, if we talk about the Mesolithic period, now humans, they started to do food gathering still now. Still now in the Mesolithic period also people were gathering foods. In the early part of this age, but towards the later part of the age, they started to grow crops and they started to tame animals. This word tame means to domesticate animals or birds. So now they used to keep animals at home or birds at home. So they used to tame animals. So we have finished with the Mesolithic period. Now the last phase of the Stone Age was the Neolithic period. Let's talk about it. Let us do the last part of the video, which is Deccan, a case study. According to the geographic region, if we talk about the Deccan Plateau, it is one of the oldest plateau of the Indian subcontinent. So this terms Indian subcontinent has many regions. It is covered by the Indian Ocean, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. From these regions or the western edges means the line where a surface ends like margin. From this, the river used to flow towards the Bay of Bengal. So this region, they had warm climate and rocky surfaces, and it had huge stretches, means it had a huge coverage of forests, and these factors, they had helped the people of the Stone Age to find food, water and shelter in comfortable temperatures. Now whenever the temperatures was good, at that time the people of the Old Stone Age or the Stone Age or the Mesolithic period, people used to go and find food for themselves. Now many sites of human settlements of Stone Age have been found spread over in different parts of the Deccan Plateau. Most of these are alongside the various rivers and their tributaries. So if we talk about many sites of the human settlements, so this term settlement means, this word settlement, it means a place where people have come to live and have built homes. So in these settlements during the Stone Age that has been found, it spread in different parts of the Deccan Plateau, and most of these were along the various rivers and their tributaries. So this word tributaries, they are the channel of smaller river which flows into a larger river or lake. Now, one of the site where archaeologists have found, so this term archaeologist, so there is one site where an archaeologist, this term archaeologist means a person who studies human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites and analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. Now these archaeologists, they have found many signs of the Stone Age habitation. So habitation is a place where the people used to live or reside, and also it's a fact of living in a particular place. This habitation means a fact of living in a particular place. So this founds of the archaeologists in the Stone Age says that the fact of living in a particular place was Huinski. This site is close to the Krishna river. So Huinski is located in North Karnataka. Some localities at Huinski, Isampur and Yadiapur, they were excavated systematically. Excavated, this term excavated means they had digged the earth or removed earth carefully from an area in order to find burial remains, and they had used this method, and systematically means methodically, orderly, okay, in an orderly manner they had dug the ground to find out the habitations of the Old Stone Age or the Stone Age people or the Mesolithic Age people. Now let's talk about the artifacts. These artifacts are recovered from these localities include hand axes, cleavers, scrapers and knives. So artifacts, the term artifacts, it is an object made by a human being typically one of cultural or historical interest. So these artifacts have been discovered by the archaeologists and they have recovered from these localities. Localities means a place or a particular area, and whatever tools they have found, which was hand axes, cleavers. So this word cleavers, it's a knife with a long square blade used especially for cutting meat. And scrapers, as I had discussed earlier, a tool used for removing dirt, paint or unwashed matter from the surface. Now, and they had also discovered knives. So which were characteristics of the Paleolithic and Mesolithic age. Now these scrapers, cleavers, knives, whatever tools they had discovered from the sites, these were the characteristics. Characteristics means a quality belonging typically to a person, place or thing and serving to identify them. So these were the characteristics of the Paleolithic and Mesolithic age. And the limestone formed the principal type of stone for making tools. Important type of stone was the limestone for making tools, although other raw materials such as granite, basalt and shale were also used. They also used to use some other raw material to make tools, which was granite, basalt and shale other than the limestone. Some localities around this site. So this again, the word localities, it's a place, okay, a place or particular area. So some of the localities around this site have also yielded small amount of fossils. So these sites have yielded means produce some small amount of fossils. Fossil means the decay of the animals or plants or human beings, of wild cattle, horse, elephant and deer. These fossils have been discovered by the archaeologists in different sites. So now we have come to the end of the video, and in this video I would like to share again that today we have talked about the Stone Age, the Paleolithic period, Mesolithic period, Neolithic period. The features of the Paleolithic period: food gatherers, their clothing, their tools, their dwelling places, tool making techniques, discovery of fire and the art and the major Paleolithic sites, Mesolithic period, and the lastly Deccan, a case study. So children, thank you so much. I hope you will be more knowledgeable by going through this video. I expect that everyone should give their best by looking at this video. Thank you.